10 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 5 seconds remaining.
Queen of Pain.
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Skywrath Mage.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Hyper.
Radiant team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Brood mother.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Death prophet.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Alchemist.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Prepare for battle.
That's right, Cuddle Guy. We are here, Capitalist and Blitz, to answer all of your questions. Is MVP Phoenix going to take this 2-0? Blitz, tell me. Be the Oracle.
We're here to answer all your questions. Are you serious right now?
I asked. You
Man.
answer, Blitz. Tell me, who's gonna win?
Honestly, I wish I was casting with Coddle Guy right now. It's like whenever he announces us, I just feel so good.
We're two awesome casters.
Nice. Thank you for flattering yourself.
Hey, don't worry about it, Mr. Guardian Greaves pipe.
And honestly, guys out there that are listening, if Austin can become a tier 1 caster,
30 seconds to
truly
go.
you guys can do anything. Like, we're gonna see a guy just like self-propel himself in the air and start flying. Anything's
People
possible.
start levitating.
Yeah, exactly. You know those
Cats and
children
dogs.
that think they can fly, like they jump off their house with the balloons? That's actually gonna happen.
You know,
Like set your sights high, guys. Look at this.
you know, if there's a news story within the next 12 hours of somebody doing that, that's totally on you.
Yeah, please don't do that. And anything is not possible.
Alright, so Cloud9, the analysts felt very positive about their chances of winning this game too. It seems like they felt like the draft was really in their favor. I kind of tend to agree with them. The only thing that would kind of stop it is the Alchemist. Kind of like the X factor in all of these games.
Alright, can I just point out that the Alchemist now has the same net worth as the Disruptor did at 20 minutes? Like, can we just think about that
Pick
for
up
a
a bounty
second?
rune.
Like, really think about that, and just think about how absurd that is.
Yeah, when he picks up the bounty rune, he goes up to 1,300 gold per minute. Like, it wasn't absurd
I'm trying
enough.
to keep things professional, and you know, in the first cast we did, but just the absurdity of that, I don't think it's broken or anything, I just think it's so funny.
Oh no, that was a great ice shards. 1437 is done for. What a beautiful play from Fedi. I mean, he had some, like, excluding the really awkward snowball 4 heroes into the tier 4s and get 4-man, you know, ravaged by the Nyx assassin and immediately just lose a team fight. Besides that, Febby played a really good Tusk, and we're seeing already how on point his ice shards can be.
I mean, it's just a hero that he's really comfortable on. And this time around, we're seeing a completely different look from both teams as they're trying to give the Brood as advantage of a matchup as possible in this Brood versus Viper one, but I mean, the Viper's doing okay right now, as he should. Eventually, it'll get really hard for him. That means this top lane has to do at least okay, and it looks like they're going to change things up a little bit. Kind of just leave Ritsu hanging, but looks like there's going to be quite the lane swap. But MVP Phoenix, that's fine for them. They already just walked away with the kill. And C9 actually lane swapped for them. So everything's cool.
Yeah, and they have really great rotating heroes. In fact, if QL wants to, at level 4 he can get Unstable Concoction. I could see the Tusk and maybe bring the Ogre Magi, or maybe they just leave him against the Broodmother. But I think there's a very likely chance that we're going to be seeing a successful gank from MVP Phoenix into that middle lane.
There's no reason not to, but Brax is going to pick up this regen rune, make life a little bit easier for him. At the same time, QO is going to start heading down to this bottom lane and fortunately find that there is no bounty rune for him.
Yeah, that's one of the big things. Top lane, Broodmother is going to be caught out and is forced away from his webs. Another kill for the tri-lane. And Tusk is, and that's the one thing. I really love Tusk against Broodmother. It feels like it's just so easy to gank him. All you have to do is get in range of the snowball and have dust on you, and you just lock him down so easily. March is going to turn and fight against Ritsu as best as possible, but I'm not sure if he can actually win this with the extra damage coming out from 1437. Then again, he probably knew that he wasn't going to be able to get out anyway. Still, Febby comes in and gets the other kill, and Ritsu is low enough that he can't actually stay in lane against Febby anymore. He has to regen up first. Still, the win is kind of there to Cloud9 getting a core for a support trade-off.
This is so significant for them because they're just getting kills around the map and making sure that they get trades no matter what. And I just like the way that Febby's playing overall, and they're neutralizing the threat of this top Broodmother, and it looks like they want to just kind of zone him out a little bit, but
I think MSS is a little bit confused. He's like, I've got this counter ward up here, and he's still able to see me right here. What's going on here? But the thing is, this counter ward is just out of range. And
Sentry battle.
putting a bit of pressure on MSS, so his 2 sentries go to pretty much complete waste.
So even though the laning phase has gone pretty decently for MVP Phoenix, things are perfectly fine for C9 because what you're really looking for when you look at a lineup is what's the overall strategy? Like, what's the ideal, right? What is it based off? What abilities? And for C9, it's clear as day. if you haven't figured it out by now, it's the Death Prophet ultimate.
Yeah.
You're gonna exclusively play around this ability and make sure that whenever it is up, you're winning team fights. If you're not, things get really dangerous. But if you are, then you can still play her kind of the same way where you just go tower to tower, snowball.
Can Febby save this one? Doesn't look like it. March is going to go down first. He's going to go for a 1-4-3-7. The Ice Shard doesn't actually latch, but maybe that's a fine thing because Febby can still get the kill, and the team is actually blocked out. SVG, because the way the Ice Shards were there, Savage had to run himself all the way around those trees and couldn't get there in time to start the stop the TP out.
Brax is on the low ground. He doesn't have boots either.
Oh, the Unstoppable Concoction comes in. They still have a little bit of acid spray damage, and he'll just right-click him down. This is one of the great things about Ogre Magi. He can be a great rotational hero when it comes to diving towers because he can just tank up all the damage for you.
That was such good timing. They know that there's probably a ward on the high ground mid, but it's probably not centered on the left side of the map. If anything, it's probably going to be one of... it was maybe a lane ward, and the other one is also going to be a lane ward. So just good play overall by them.
2 to 5. 5 minutes in. Very nice lead for MVP Phoenix. Don't usually take a look at the net worth this early, but they're already up almost 2k gold.
That is significant. Especially since the Queen of Pain is doing a lot better than the Ember. And the Alchemist is just doing Alchemist things. So this is a hero that, left unchecked, kind of just goes out of control. And he's already had a gank for him. He's doing okay in CS too.
And very unlikely that he's going to be ganked up by the Night Stalker successfully now that he's level 6. I mean, early on when he's got low armor and he doesn't have that ultimate, he's actually an okay hero to gank, but... And they've actually surrounded. March is going to go down once again. Febby is going to look for that counter kill, but can't quite get the Ember Spirit. Knows he has to TP away from all this. The nuke damage. Oh, the chains! Oh, can't believe Ritsu got that off! That was insanely long range, plus the combination of the fact that he was just straight lucky. Now MSS is going to go down in the top lane as well, as it seems like the dust will last long enough for MVP to pick up that kill. Boy, this MSS Broodmother is not having a great time this game.
They've made absolute sure that there's always an answer for her, whether it's going to be the dust or the sentries. They've got enough kill in their lane too, and this makes it very difficult for them to keep the Brood alive. But this off lane right now is not going well for MVP. Febby gets out, even then, all they're really doing ever is trading out a support. I guess the good news is the Viper's really harassing the Ember and making it hard for him to keep up.
This would be their best time to gank up QO. They know Chemical Rage is down for a little while. They're going to be able to get just all the nukes onto him before he gets that health regen from his ultimate and get the kill. He does manage to pick up his Radiance recipe, so he is going for that straight Radiance, just trying to get rid of as much unreliable gold as possible.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Going for the Radiance in a game like this, where there aren't a lot of tanky heroes. I think the unfortunate thing for him, though, I really just like the Radiance miss percentage chance. I think that's one of the most important things about it. Early is top.
Yeah, MSS. There was not much to talk about there. He was caught out by the dust, and you knew.
Dark gets taken down. Can we just say that? We'll just use his anime name, just to show him how ridiculous it is. Darkness. So he changes the Darkness gets taken down.
Darkness. The dark. Sure. That's going to be a little bit confusing with Night Stalker, seeing as he has an ability called Darkness.
This Brood has not had the impact that you want to see. The good news is he's forcing a lot of heroes up here. The bad news is he has died already 3 times without any rebuttal, but that might just change here as he's going to be the target.
Ogre Magi is not, I mean, even if this is a successful gank, which it seems like it may not be, we are going to have a TP rotation from the Queen of Pain. Maybe there's going to be a turnaround as he's definitely going down, but yeah, Darkness over here. Broodmother's going to be in some serious trouble as Dagger, Ice Shards comes in from the side. Still though, they silence up Dagger. Maybe they can run him down. No, the snowball save! They turn around, take out 1-4-3-7, and Savage goes down as well. A 1-for-3 exchange is going on the Ogre Magi. I mean, that was a smoke gank by itself. Getting the Ogre wasn't that high value, but the fight that follows up is just so terrible for Cloud9, and they are just losing this laning phase so badly, it's all going out of control.
I know for a second that you thought he was going to survive because it looked like for a second they didn't want to continue the chase on the Ogre. And as weird as that sounds, that was the right decision.
Yes.
Ogre's got 9 armor. That's unbelievable. He just doesn't go down easily. You use your original spells, they're just right-clicking him away. He's not dying.
And you don't have terribly high levels on your supports for the side of Cloud9. You only had level 4 on this Night Stalker, level 5 on the Skywrath Mage.
That does alleviate a lot of pressure for Ritsu, though, to continue to farm, but
once again, we're going to be left in this scenario where it feels like Ritsu's going to be the only one with farm.
yeah. And in this game especially, he needs his team. Because the Death Prophet is one of those heroes that can't afford to get as far behind as you might think. And QO, he's got a lot of stacks to farm. This is so great for an Alchemist, to just be able to abuse this. Farm out as many stacks as you can, go closer and closer to that Radiance. I'd anticipate it coming in around 12-13 minutes. Top MSS just can't afford to die again.
Yeah, net worth wise, he's below the Viper right now.
The Viper that just like went down, died, went down, died.
Yeah.
Just to lend people some perspective. March doesn't even have a kill to his name yet.
When it comes down to, like, if you're going to look at the trade-off, right, where the Viper and the Broodmother are the two heroes that died constantly, do you think that there's more value in shutting out the Broodmother? It's March. Well, this may be a fourth time that he dies as he gets caught underneath his tier 1 tower, but he does turn around, and Ritsu doesn't actually have any mana. He's going to be hit by the Walrus Punch, slowed down enough that they should be able to get this kill. Dagger easily comes, cleans that one up, and 1-4-3-7, yeah, they get off the Shadow Strike. They also have the ultimate of the Queen of Pain, so this seems like it's going to be a pretty easy secondary kill. Snowball not picking up the Queen of Pain, but it doesn't really feel like it's necessary anyway, as March and Febby can easily surround that Gareth Mage, and Dagger is the one who picks up the last hit. Double kill for him. Brack's gone on by QO and Keen, but they very clearly don't have the damage to challenge him.
395 move speed, that's not even counting the phase boots. Still, MVP Phoenix, this is a team that we talked about when they played against Secret. They heavily rely on this tempo control playstyle. They want to be the ones setting the pace, going for the ganks, initiating things. Sometimes when it doesn't work, it almost feels like they're too over-aggressive. But in a game like this is the perfect amount of aggression. You're getting kills on the safe lane, you got a kill on the mid, you shut down the off laner. You're just making it difficult all around the map right now for C9 to keep up. Even the Viper is doing almost as well as the Ember Spirit is.
Oh dear. Well, earlier we saw the darkness fall, and now so too the light shall fall. Ember Spirit dies to the Queen of Pain. I'm almost feeling like I actually like Death Prophet as a hero right now. I think she has a lot of potential in this patch, but I'm not sure if just style-wise, Death Prophet can be picked up against a team like MVP Phoenix, because you can see MVP, they're moving around with Dagger, they're accomplishing so much, and Brax, what can he really do in return? Maybe take out a tier 1 tower, but he's going to be ganked up now, as just barely getting away, but the Ignite, that should take him down. He knows it too. He turns around, just gets out another Duke, and now 1-4-3-7, he's going to be caught by the Shadow Strike of Dagger, and just right-click down godlike spree by 11.5 minutes.
You have lost all control if you're Cloud9 right now. The Radiance is about to be completed at 12 minutes into the game by QO. You can't really put a handle on this Queen of Pain. I think Milk talked about it, that there were going to be some counters for her, and there are. You've got the Skyra silence, you've got the Night Stalker silence, but when you're behind, it doesn't feel like these heroes are effective, because the Queen of Pain is jumping on you. You're largely using the silence to get away from things. You're just not seeing the impact of these supports, and this next night is going to be huge. They actually have to accomplish so much from this.
The problem's going to be they're fighting now into a Radiance. QL finishes up by 12 minutes as you predicted.
That's around the standard timing, and especially with the stacks, him not being able to get ganked up, this is fairly standard. And as a support on the side of C9, things are going to get really miserable. And even for MSS, he's got to be really careful, because you don't want to give up Broodlings, especially to an Alchemist. It's almost like he's just getting a full camp every single time he kills a few.
If I'm not wrong, Brax, did he get Exorcism at level 9? Did he go for the maxed out Witchcraft and
yeah, I think so.
First?
I think that's really common.
Do you think that, yeah, that is a fairly common build. Do you think that was a mistake given the fact that how much Dagger was rotating out of lane? And, well, we're going to watch him probably kill the Ember Spirit. Flame Guard makes it a little bit tough, but he has the Orchid, and that's really the big thing that's going to allow him to kill the Ember Spirit here. Sounds up, slowed down doubly, and Ritsu just right-click down, has the Remnant be able to jump away to the side. MVP Phoenix, they actually still find the Ice Shard, goes out, he jumps over, oh my god! He barely gets away from that Ice Shard and will survive.
He's so lucky to make it out with his life. He
But
actually
yeah,
prepped that perfectly.
Going back to the Death Prophet, right? Like, if the mid is rotating out, it's supposed to be with pushing heroes like DK and Death Prophet. They didn't take your tower in exchange for that. But when a Death Prophet goes for this build, you can't actually take the tower like you normally would be able to.
I think the problem though is that people just respond, and your level 1 ghosts aren't that frightening.
Yeah.
He's only got, at some point he didn't have the bit booster, so he'd have 800 HP and pop his ulti. MVP Phoenix would definitely fight that. Once you kill him, it's only a level 2 hero, or a level 8 hero that doesn't really have a lot of tanking. But he's going to go for the Rod of Atos. That's a really quick tier 2 that was taken. But now you've got a 2-minute cooldown on your ultimate. This is opportunity for MVP to just kind of continue to get map control.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about where Cloud9 are feeling in this game. The fact that they used Exorcism to push down a Broodmother lane. You know, normally if this game was perhaps a bit more even, you're looking at a 4-man squad from Cloud9 while the Broodmother is solo pushing out those lanes. You don't normally need the Death Prophet to join you, but...
I think MVP actually want to get aggressive around the map now. You've got a mech completed on the March, the Boots of Travel, and the Radiance on this Alchemist. They just got so many items all at once. Got a gem completed on Febby too, so the map control is definitely going to go in their favor. And I really like this. When you go for the Orchid, just go for the BKB. Make things as safe as possible for yourself. There's no reason to have to throw away this godlike spree. The biggest thing right now for this Queen of Pain is to make sure that she's continuing her momentum.
Bottom lane is being pushed out by QL, all the meanwhile. Does have Boots of Travel, which will help dealing with the Broodmother pushes. And Cloud9 are actually kind of backing away from that middle lane. I think they realize that it's very likely that MVP are ganking them. So they spam out a little bit, trying to kill the wave, but this is going to be a tier 1 going down. MVP, this just means a smoke of there kind of fails, but they still get that middle tier 1 tower, which is a nice objective.
Yeah, it's one of those smokes that I think we've talked about in the past with our cast is, if it gets a kill, great. If it doesn't, you're still creating tempo and getting that mid tower for free.
Yeah.
It's one of two. And that's a fantastic trade for MVP, using a smoke to secure themselves a tower, and everybody from C9 are gathered up on the side of the map. Brax almost has his ultimate up, but even with that, you fight.
MSS, you gotta be real careful with those spiderlings. He's actually just feeding them away to QO right now because they want to be able to fight, but Savage has been caught as the rest of MVP Phoenix were backing up QO, knowing that it was very likely that Cloud9 were gonna go for the kill on that farming Alchemist.
I think that was...
managed to punish them for it.
That was a little bit of a throwaway death because... yeah, either there you commit and hard, or you might as well just get out, because you know that there are going to be multiple heroes there.
Alright, well, this is where maybe the Death Prophet becomes a bit more viable. We have the level 2 Exorcism. I think this is probably one of your biggest peaks as a Death Prophet. Obviously, the other one being when you are level 3 and you have... I'm not sure what the item build is going to be for Brax this game. I'm not sure if he builds Yule Scepter after the Rod of Atos, or if he starts tanking up in other ways, just stats-wise. But whatever it is, that's going to be the other peak of power, but they definitely have to take advantage of this level 2 Exorcism.
Yeah, you want to try to fight around this ability. How do you really? You have so many things going for them. I think the BKB is almost completed on the Queen of Pain as well.
The problem's going to be that if they use the Exorcism... oh no. 1437, another great Ice Shards from Bebby, as they actually set up a beautiful Sonic Wave that finishes off the Skyreth Mage and hits a couple of heroes in the back. Now
gonna pop his ulti.
He's being chased away, but now QO on the front lines up against Brax, and they've already brought Brax so low, he just gets taken out by the Walrus Punch. They found MSS as well, and the Broodmother joining in the fight just adds an extra death to MVP as they rack one up. 6-19, go straight into the Roshan pit now, and it seems like MVP Phoenix are well on their way to winning this series in a clean 2-0.
I think the bigger issue with Death Prophet as a hero is something you saw right there. You don't really want to pop the ultimate because then they just disengage, but if you don't and you pop it too late, then either A, you die, or B, the fight's already over by then.
Yeah.
And so you have to be playing aggressively with this hero. It's pretty much mandated.
And you don't really have a good hero to set up the initiation for the Death Prophet to follow up, right? You don't want to be going into these fights like trying to charge at the enemy. You pop the Exorcism and they just run away. That ultimate has too long of a cooldown for you to throw it away like that. So you kind of need a hard initiation, and this is kind of coming back to the Broodmother pickup then. That Cloud9 choosing to go for this in order to take advantage of MVP and some of the heroes that are going to be a bit lacking in stopping that Spiderling push. Well, it also means that they don't have any hard initiation for the Death Prophet to follow up on.
Kyo's got an unbelievable amount of net worth right now, despite the fact that his teammate is beyond godlike. He's still a full 3,000 gold ahead of him. He shows no signs of stopping. This is really where an Alchemist shines.
Who are we going to do the reach chat with?
And a Hand of Midas actually coming in for March now. This is just to secure, and at bottom, Dagger's actually just going to get a kill. MSS.
Yeah, he's done for.
That's just a throwaway death again.
Dagger is just so far ahead. Rod of Atos.
Under attack.
40 seconds until they have the next. I am almost tempted to say that if Cloud9 don't win this next team fight with their next coming up Exorcism, there's just no way back into this game for them. Because I mean, just look at the net worth. You've got an Ember Spirit at 6,600, while the Alchemist has over double that at 13k.
Bigger stat is just the fact that the Viper has more net worth than you, and this was a hero that is 1, 3, and 6 right now. You're just not keeping up. You're going to get further far behind against a Midas Viper. It's eventually going to turn into a core. And Kyo, who just continues to farm, I think that's his fully completed Manta style too. So all of these pesky silences just become a lot weaker.
They really need this kill, but there is the TP in for the Alchemist. They managed to finish up the creep just in time. The Alchemist won't be here for the fight, and they will just get the free pick off on March. They desperately needed something like this. It caused them 4 heroes to rotate and that clutch kill on the creep, but they're still gonna have a fight here. 1-4-3-7 runs right into Febby. They will be able to stop him from getting off the quick Walrus Punch, and it gets some distance, slowed down by, oh, they're actually gonna come in with Brax now, popping that Exorcism. Heen is gonna be caught by the TP, won't be able to get out in time. The rest of MVP Phoenix, though, will be able to get away thanks in part to another great Ice Shards from Febby. The question is, was that Exorcism really worth it? They won the fight, but all they got was an Ogre Magi after the Viper pickup.
I think he was afraid that MVP was going to get into that fight, and he wanted to make sure that this time, if they were going to take a fight, it was going to be at full. But again, that's the tricky part about playing the Death Prophet, because you never really know when it's the right time to go for it.
Yeah.
If you use it too early, well then you've got 2 minutes now where you're a dead hero.
Use it too late, like the last fight, he just dies before.
This hero is, it's so rough to play around at times. But you want to get aggressive with the next one, I feel. That was huge for them, though, to be able to get some presence on the map and actually successfully complete a gank, even if it's just on a Viper. Still the 5th highest net worth in the game. It's not terrible for you.
Manta now for the Alchemist. With the buffed up Manta only having a 30-second cooldown on melee heroes, it's really favorable as a farming item. Looks like Cloud9 are gonna go for the smoke up in the top lane. Maybe giving up this tier 1 tower. We'll see as they set things up. They're actually going to jump in. Febby actually managed to get the Walrus Punch onto Kuroku, but they managed to get their turnaround. 1-for-1 exchange so far. DK, well, he pops the BKB. Dagger just keeps on going forward. Kagami, he's also going to go down as Ritsu just doesn't stand a chance against all that focus damage. 9-23. And Cloud9, once again, they go for a fight, and it just turns out so badly as this time around, MVP Phoenix had a lot more heroes to bring to the fore.
They're just getting so far behind right now, and the scary thing right now for C9 is this was without their highest net worth hero.
Okay, we'll go to it soon.
They actually didn't even use the Alchemist for any part of this, so things are just really rough right now. And
what's the
Kyo just continues to farm. He's got 3,500 gold. Okay. Probably going to go for that Octarine build that we see to turn him into a mini Naga Siren, and I like that build a lot. I think that was the one that Loda used in that comeback game.
Right. Alright, well, as things kind of slow down here, and Cloud9 are definitely in a bit of a pickle here, we do have the Exorcism coming up in just a second, so maybe we will be able to force something, but let's get into the heads of Cloud9 here and see what they're thinking about, how they're going to be able to take these next fights, as we have the Turtle Beach team chat get into their minds.
You snuff me out.
I do sound fools.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. bottom
Boy, that
tower
is not a very lively Cloud9 as they're immediately going to get picked off. Just no real chat coming from them as they've already lost their tier 3 tower. I think they know they can just see the end of this game and they're not really sure how to defend. The Alchemist now has an Assault Cuirass. Of course, it's not at him just yet, and Cloud9 try and take advantage of the scenario where they were pushed forward, but they just don't have the strength to do so. They're going to slow down some of these heroes, but then they're going to start going into this staircase, a very dangerous area. They're going to try and pop Heen first. It looks like the Ice Shard's actually blocking Ogre Magi out. He's just going to be sacrificed to make sure that MVP Phoenix cleanly escape, but they got a tier 3 tower by 24 minutes. I think MVP Phoenix are going to be very happy with the position that they're in.
That gem pickup might be one of the biggest net worth swings that they've had going in their favor. The 900 gold that they just picked up, and talking about the Turtle Beach team chat that we just heard, I've been in that position. Almost every Dota player has, where you're just so far behind, and your heroes are just getting picked off, and you just don't quite know what to do or what to say.
Yeah, like Ritsu died in that bottom lane. There was just no real, like, they didn't even remark about it.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
Just like, it happened again.
You don't want to. You don't really want to say anything about it.
Yeah.
And you're trying to keep things positive, but I mean, this is still a relatively young and new team. That's the big thing, and it is a pretty positive sign that nobody's getting angry or frustrated. But you have to take it to the next step and continue to think of what's the next move, even if we're super far behind. What are we even supposed to do in this position?
See, the Sheaths is there for the Queen of Pain. Alchemist, you're about to get kind of like maxed out, in a way. Do you actually start thinking about the Aghanims, or do you want to stat up a little bit more on the Alchemist? Maybe get some sort of HP item to take advantage of the fact that he's got so much armor?
Yeah, I mean, with the AC, we've seen the Octarine core. I think I see Big Daddy No-Till go for that a lot, and it kind of turns you into a mini Naga Siren of sorts.
Yeah.
And what I really like about it is just lowering the chemical rage cooldown. It's pretty pivotal.
Because you're so dependent on that ability.
Exactly. If it's not up, then your hero just isn't as good.
Right.
If you've got it up at all times, which is what it enables you to do.
Yeah, it's something like a 7-second downtime if you have Octarines or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's a heart in itself.
Yeah.
You've got 100 HP regen, whatever.
Yeah, and the stats of Octarine aren't bad. You're going to get a little bit of HP out of that, which again will be a rather large increase in your overall survivability, just because you have so much armor and so much HP regen that every point of HP is worth so much more than just that.
Right, they're just farming out the jungle right now. Fortunately for them, Roshan isn't up, but this is just a disciplined MVP Phoenix squad, I feel. They're waiting on the objectives, they're making sure that there's no way for C9 to get back into the game, and when you're at a defensive position with this Death Prophet, it's so scary because we've talked about it time and time again, but it gets even worse when you're in a base defense scenario. You pop it too early, MVP Phoenix, they just run away. They're just like, okay guys, yep, Death Prophet is... use everything.
Which is why you were saying earlier, you have to play offensively with this hero, because if the enemy team is just going to run away from you when you pop your ultimate, you get objectives out of it. You get them very rapidly. But
exactly.
In a defensive position, there's nothing you can actually get, especially when you don't have any hard catch, which is, again, a problem that we talked about for Cloud9's lineup. MVP Phoenix, they can just run away, and there's nothing really to stop them. There's some minor slows, but it's not very major, and it's actually going to be hard for QO. So a rather large HP increase, which will obviously take advantage of the high amount of armor and HP regen that he has.
So we've got Brax, who almost has his Octarine core. And this is going to make things a little bit better overall. The ultimate cooldown won't be as punishing. It's still kind of long, but it's a little bit more forgivable. And I think on the flip side of things, we haven't talked about this enough, is how C9 gets back into this game. And hopefully just some measure of farm on Ritsu, and eventually start to think about catching up once your heroes have just a little bit more farm.
Yeah, between the 3-second, like once they get the Octarine core, they'll have the 3-second cooldown on Crit Storms. You could span that out even more. And you also have the Sleight of Fist, obviously, which the Battle Fury is about to be finished up by Ritsu. The problem's going to be is right now, MVP are too strong for you to push away.
Yeah, QO is incredibly strong right now. With the heart, just doing as much.
I think one for the, with the Ice Shards, they kill him from long range. That wasn't even really an engagement for MVP. That was just them tossing long balls over there, and Cloud9. Now Dagger comes in. They're actually going to go straight for Brax, take him out underneath the Orchid. Turnaround stun on the MSS. He's going to go down as well. And farther up, we also have the kill on the Night Stalker. That's going to be almost all 5 down as they buy back on the Death Prophet. Now the Night Stalker as well, but that's the only heroes they can really buy back. They do get a really nice silence, but can they actually continue to fight this one? And Savage needs to slow down Dagger, but they can't quite catch him. Rising jumps forward, but now it's going to be Brax in trouble. He just gets destroyed by QO. Ember Spear is going to go down as well, and Cloud9 know this is all over. The buybacks they expended, I think, they knew that was just a last-ditch effort.
Radiant's top tower
Yeah, they
is
just
under
got
attack.
far behind in the beginning. Febby did such a good job this game. Like, we can't give this guy enough credit. Yeah, there was that unlucky scenario where he got chain stuff at the last possible second at bottom. But think about what Febby did that game. Every single time there was an opportunity, he would trade out. Eventually, the rest of his team got way too big, way too quickly. QO just kind of played that pace game where once in a while somebody would come gank for him. And then from there on out, MP Phoenix